Time for Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. When it comes to news on KALH, weather always comes first. A strong spring storm is going to bring high winds and extremely critical fire weather to parts of the southern plains today. Heavy snow and a possible blizzard from the central plains into the upper Midwest tomorrow. Closer to home, a passing weather system is going to bring very strong winds and dry conditions. Relative humidity will drop into the teens and lower double digits, with single digits favored out east. It's going to remain quite low until the evening hours. Southwest to west winds are going to increase through the mid-morning and peak during mid to late afternoon, even extending into the evening. Sustained winds above 35 miles per hour, with gusts going even higher. There is a red flag warning in effect today from 11 until 9. We'll have another look at the weather following this news.
This is Range Control with roadblock information for Tuesday, March 18th. Roadblocks are subject to change without notice. Highway 70, Highway 380, Highway 54, Owen Road, Nike Avenue, and War Highway are scheduled to remain open all day.
With today being a red flag warning day, let's check in with Alamogordo Fire Department Lieutenant William Skaggs.
Alamogordo Fire Department urges all residents and visitors to remain vigilant and take extra precautions in light of the current dry conditions and heightened fire dangers. Some key fire safety tips for our community are: avoid using open flames outdoors, including barbecues, fire pits, or any other burning. Always ensure fire rings or barbecue pits are properly managed and avoid using them in windy conditions. Proper disposal of cigarettes. If smoking, make sure to fully extinguish cigarettes and dispose of them in a safe, non-flammable container. Never discard cigarette butts on the ground or in dry areas. Vehicle safety. Avoid parking vehicles on dry grass or areas with tall vegetation, as hot exhaust pipes could spark fires. Be mindful of equipment use. Ensure that lawnmowers, chainsaws, and any equipment that could generate sparks are used with caution and not in windy conditions. Check equipment regularly for safety. Stay informed. Follow local fire restrictions and guidelines, and remain alert to any updates or emergency notifications issued by local authorities. The fire risk in Alamogordo is high due to ongoing dry conditions. The Lincoln National Forest Service has already put restrictions in place to prevent wildfires, and similar precautions should be observed within the city limits. Together, we can keep Alamogordo safe. Please stay alert and practice fire safety at all times.
An unforeseen water break occurred underground on New York Avenue at 10th. This water break necessitates some additional work to correct the issue, and as a result, 10th Street in New York will be closed for about 2 weeks as the water line is replaced for eastbound 10th at the intersection of 10th and New York. The additional time, as well as the withholding of traffic during this period, is needed to allow the concrete to cure for at least 7 days. The Village of Tularosa is having a regular meeting tomorrow evening at 6. You can check out the meeting agenda by visiting villageoftularosa.com. Alamogordo Music Theater presents You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, based on the Peanuts comic strip. That's happening on March 21st, 22nd, 28th, and 29th at 7 p.m., with a matinee on March 23rd at 2. That's at the Flickinger Center. All seats are $12. See alamogordomusictheater.org for details. Keep Tularosa Beautiful has an event coming up. We spoke with Rusty Helton.
Well, we're going to have our first cleanup this year on March 29th. Going to go from 8:30 to 10:30. Got all kinds of special prizes that have either been donated or purchased to give away to everybody that shows up from all the area merchants, including Ugly Pies, Alamars, the taco truck, everything. And so I think it's going to be a good deal. The weather should be good. We're going to pick up a lot of trash and make Tularosa beautiful.
And what day is that going to be happening on?
It's going to be on Saturday, March 29th.
So that's coming up pretty quick. Where do people meet and what time?
We're going to meet at the Tularosa truck stop where the truck's parked there at 8:30. And you can pick up trash as long as you want to, but we're going to pack our bags up about 10:30.
For more information, send a DM through the Keep Tularosa Beautiful Facebook page. The City of Alamogordo presents Easter in the Park. That's a free event happening on Saturday, April 19th from 9 until noon. A community egg hunt, food and craft vendors, petting zoo, bounce house, and a whole lot more. Plus, the Easter Bunny will be on hand. The Sidney Paul Gordon Shooting Range proudly presents Women on Target from Women of the NRA, happening Saturday, April 12th. Pre-registration is required. $25 per participant, due at the time of registration. The registration fee includes certified instruction, lunch, use of firearms with instructors, ammo, Target, store prices, and a whole lot more. If you have questions, 575-443-9006. Redoso is gearing up for a big race later this year, and they could use some help to pull it off. The Village is going to be hosting the Off-Road Triathlon Xterra. That's on August 15th through the 17th, and they need some volunteers to work as course marshals, help with timing, and hand out recovery at aid stations. No training is needed. Volunteers will get a t-shirt, lunch, and free entry into the 10K race. To sign up, send an email to volunteer@xterraplanet.com. Well, today's Tuesday. It's time for an introspection with Pastor Johnny Walker.
This is Johnny Walker with this week's introspection. Slow down. Life is a journey, not a race. It's easy to get caught up in the fast pace of society, constantly rushing from one task to the next. But in the midst of this chaos, it's important to remember to slow down and take a moment to appreciate the beauty of life. When we allow ourselves to slow down, we can see things more clearly and make better decisions. We can appreciate the little moments that bring us joy and savor the time we have with loved ones. Acting out of stress and hurry only leads to negative emotions like anger and frustration, alienating those around us. So, let go of the need to rush through life and instead focus on living in the present moment. Take the time to enjoy the journey, savoring each experience and finding peace in the slow moments. Remember, it's not about how quickly we reach our goals, but about the quality of the years we spend living them. So slow down, breathe, and see life through a new perspective. You'll find that you are a better person for it. Remember, young fools grow up to be old fools. We'll see you again next week on Crazy Radio. Y'all be blessed.
News from around the state in just a moment. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
Directory Plus is the right size book. It's the book if you need a phone book.
That's what just one person has to say about Directory Plus. With its red cover, features, colorful yellow pages, and lots more, it's no wonder people all over use Directory Plus.
It has so much more information. You can cross-check phone numbers or addresses or pretty much anything.
Look on the plus side, Directory Plus.
I'm a big fan of Directory Plus.
Local news from local perspectives, from local voices. AlamogordoTownNews.org. Local sports, local events, and local happenings and more. Nonprofit owned and operated by Second Life Media. We are Otero County. AlamogordoTownNews.org. Heard daily on Crazy KALH Radio 95.1.
From basic to advanced computer repairs, it's GalacticGeeksPCRepair.com. Local business owned and operated by Greg Gutierrez. Available for on-site work from 9 to 6 daily. Installations, upgrades, even virus repair. For information, email Greg at GalacticGeeksPCRepair.com. Google IT support, professionally certified.
Jonathan Daniel Martinez of Las Cruces is facing federal charges of possessing a machine gun and an allegedly stolen gun. Authorities say Martinez posted about the firearms on Instagram and that he's an alleged member of the Eastside Locos gang. Law enforcement first became aware of the posts on August 18th of last year. Those images reportedly showed a gun that had been reported stolen. The gun had a machine gun conversion device added to it. Photos from Martinez's account were released by federal prosecutors. Law enforcement found the stolen gun in Martinez's bedroom when they executed a search warrant back in September. Federal prosecutors say Martinez is going to remain in custody until his trial, which has not yet been set. He faces up to 20 years. Well, they couldn't pass crime reform bills, but what the hell? Shrooms are about to become legal, so long as they're used to treat patients with certain medical conditions. Bipartisan bill SB 219, which would legalize psilocybin, has been moving quickly through the legislative session. The bill is meant to help people suffering from conditions like PTSD and severe depression. State Senator Jeff Steinborn spoke with KRQE.
We have New Mexicans who are suffering with various conditions that are really kind of end runs in some cases, major drug-resistant depression, where, pharmaceutical world isn't giving them any relief, or they have major side effects. They need another option.
Modeled after programs in Oregon and Colorado, the bipartisan bill would allow the drug to be administered to patients suffering from conditions such as PTSD, severe depression, end-of-life anxiety, addictions, things like that. Patients would be supervised and would only need the treatment once or twice. The bill passed 8-1 in committee and now heads to the House floor. If it passes there, it will head to the governor's desk. What else is happening in Santa Fe? Well, Senate Bill 42 is a governor-backed plan that is going to reform the state's KALH program, and it took another step forward yesterday, just days after clearing the Senate floor. The bill streamlines how state agencies can deal with substance-exposed newborns and their families. Senate Bill 481 is a bill creating a new government board to oversee the redevelopment and relocation of the New Mexico State Fairgrounds, and it cleared the halfway point yesterday, despite concerns from lawmakers such as State Senator Mimi Stewart.
We need to be able to make the state fair part of the 10 best again, like it used to be. It's not that anymore. So this is just as much to redevelop and make that state fair better as it is to develop 236 acres smack dab in the middle of Albuquerque.
The madness in Santa Fe wraps up Saturday at noon. A Santa Teresa man is facing federal charges after allegedly threatening Customs and Border Protection employees. 28-year-old Andrew Segura made verbal threats to a Border Patrol agent, including calling him a traitor. This led to another incident just a few days later. Segura has been accused of confronting two CBP employees at a post office. He alleged to call another person a traitor before saying, quote, "Watch your back," close quote. Records then show this led to him making physical contact with a worker that left bruises on his arm. Witnesses told investigators the actions by Segura appeared to be unprovoked. Segura is going to remain in custody until his trial. If convicted, he faces 8 years in federal prison. The ACLU of New Mexico has filed a formal complaint after immigration officials took dozens of people into custody in the state. As previously reported, Immigration and Customs Enforcement arrested 48 illegals during a week-long operation in Albuquerque, Santa Fe, and Roswell. 20 of those had serious criminal histories, but the complaint sent to the Department of Homeland Security, the ACLU claims ICE did not disclose the identities of those arrested, where they're being detained, or in what condition those facilities are kept. It's also unclear if the detained individuals have access to legal counsel. Rebecca Sheff from the ACLU of New Mexico.
We don't know what's happened to these 4 dozen New Mexicans. They've effectively disappeared.
The ACLU is calling on the Department of Homeland Security to investigate. Sports and weather are coming up next. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
They are role models and educators. Their work requires a great deal of time and energy for very little pay. Who are these unsung heroes?
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
The simple truth about education-based athletics in New Mexico is this. Without a committed team of coaches and administrators, they just wouldn't be possible. School sports, they bring out the best in all of us. This message presented by the New Mexico Activities Association and the New Mexico Athletic Directors Association.
There are 12 games for New Mexico softball today, including Hatch at Ruidoso. 34 games for New Mexico baseball today, including Capitan at Tularosa. Wow! Go Wildcats! Wildcat Cheer is having a state showcase happening tomorrow evening at the Tularosa High School gym at 6 p.m. The National Weather Service red flag warning remains in effect from 11 until 9 p.m. today due to strong winds, low relative humidity, and high fire danger. A red flag warning means that critical fire weather conditions are either occurring now or will shortly. A combination of strong winds, low relative humidity, and warm temperatures can contribute to extreme fire behavior. Your Crazy Radio spot-on weather forecast for the Tularosa Basin today calls for sunny and windy, patchy blowing dust in the afternoon hours, gusts as high as 55 miles per hour. Mostly clear and windy tonight, areas of blowing dust with gusts as high as 47. Sunny tomorrow, winds gusting up to 22. Your high today in the basin, 69, low tonight of 32. Wind chill is going to make it feel like it's 27. High tomorrow, 60 degrees. In Cloudcroft, sunny skies with very high winds today. Winds gusting up to 67 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear and windy. Winds gusting up to 60. Sunny with gusts up to 38 miles per hour tomorrow. Your high today in Cloudcroft, 48. Low tonight of 18. Wind chill is going to make it feel like it's 5. High tomorrow, 38. Wind chill is going to make it feel like it's 3 degrees. Local breaking news can be found on our website, alamogordotownnews.org, and you can learn more about Crazy Radio by visiting kalhradio.org. Also, check out the Crazy KALH Radio YouTube channel, because that's where we post our daily newscasts, complete interviews, and other information which concerns everyone in the Tularosa Basin. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel if you've not done so already. That way you too can remain informed of the goings-on in the Tularosa Basin. And that concludes today's edition of Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.